everybody. My name is MetalMusicMan.
And I am Professor Lex.
And this is episode 50 of the Metal and Lex podcast. That's a big round number. Let's go.
It is. It's huge. It's so much.
Yeah.
We're nearly to a year of having done this. Congratulations to all of our viewers, listeners.
Yeah, we always say viewers, but we've never put out video for this, and I don't think we ever will.
That's good, probably.
We could.
I don't need anyone.
Yeah, I'd have to stare at myself. It'd be awful.
I'm attractive, but I'm not trying to see myself on a YouTube video. You know,
I used to.
It's enough that people hear it.
I used to like webcam everything, and like when I would stream and stuff. And I've been enjoying getting back to the like olden days of just doing like audio over gameplay footage, and it's I don't know. It's kind of cool to have like a webcam. I get how that's like engaging, but then it does kind of take away from. I feel like people have a tendency to stare at the person,
you instead of
and not the gameplay. Yeah, and so then it's like the narration is like. So anyway, yeah, I've been having fun with that, like not webcamming it, but
I streamed yesterday.
Yeah.
I streamed Final Fantasy 13.
You got to tell everybody how wrong they are.
Yeah, no, I did several times. If you check the VODs or whatever, you may or may not have a personal shout out, Rex.
Uh-oh.
I don't think he listens to the podcast, but
probably not.
on the off chance that he does, go watch the VOD.
I am on the podcast, so probably not.
No, it's a lot of fun. My stream setup. I've got a green screen and I got a webcam and everything.
When did you get a green screen?
Been had a green screen. Been had it for like a year or two.
Oh, I thought you didn't have one for some reason last time I checked. Maybe it was. Or no, I remember you were asking me about it, and there was like some lighting issues or something. Okay, I'm crazy.
Yeah.
I'm crazy.
Now we got it. We got it mostly figured out now. This is the first time I've streamed at my house. Actually,
Really?
I did with a camera and all. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually,
you were doing it with the Jeffs and the Suzes.
Yep.
Of the world.
But this time, no, it was all me and actually Jeff and Susie. They showed up in the chat. It was nice. I liked streaming. I will keep doing it. I will keep doing it.
Are you doing it on your own, or are you doing it on a Convenient Gaming channel?
I mean, it's my channel. It's always been my channel. The twitch.tv/Professor Lex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you had a separate one.
No.
That's the one I know about. So good job.
Very lazy. Yeah. Thank you.
very lazy. Anyway, so yeah, here we are at episode 50.
Episode 50.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, crazy stuff. I think today we're going to talk about some V-shit or V-shift, as it were.
V-shift.
Excuse me.
With a ft. That's the new mechanic. I know what you're thinking out there, audience. Why the V-shift information has been out for at least a week. Why didn't they talk about it last week? And that's because we were talking about other stuff. A2 asked us a bunch of personal questions. We wanted to answer them.
Yeah, you
we
fucking
wanted to answer
assholes.
them for you.
How dare you
stay out of our business.
Is that is that our new shtick? Is that we hate the like 2 listeners that we have for no reason? Like, yeah, you motherfucker, you would listen to this podcast. You listening, you fucking piece of shit. We just alienate the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, both of them. No, I do feel like it's always been a love-hate relationship because I love that they watch and I hate myself, but
okay. Man.
But no, this is a V-shift episode. This shout outs to everyone who didn't want us to talk about this or thought that we had gotten out of the spiral of Street Fighter V conversation. This is it.
They won't let it die. Okay, so first of all...
They won't let it die, yeah. Capcom you're talking about.
Yeah, they need to just let it die and make a new game, and they need to...
Make it Dino Crisis 3.
Here's the deal, man. I just don't, like... Why are they, like, doubling down on Woshige? Like, Woshige. I always say it wrong. Woshige. Oh, I'll remember it now because it's like, whoa, she gay. Okay, I got it. Well, she gay. I'm sure he's a very nice man, and I know he's very good at anime fighting games, and I'm sure he's trying, but like,
he's making the game as he sees it.
Yeah, we had that conversation about like last time, about how.
Legacy holds you back. And
whatever.
You need to try new things.
But this dude, like, what are you doing, man? You're making Street Fighter. So he keeps going. He's still going in the same damn direction. And now he's added V-shift to the game.
The latest in a long list of mechanics that this game has.
Yeah. So the wiki is a V-Shift, a new defensive option that uses 1 bar of V-Gauge by pressing heavy punch and medium kick simultaneously, which is the dumbest input I've ever heard.
That's a bad input.
Why would you make... Why?
Well, okay,
why is that
so let me... So back in the day when I played Street Fighter V, I mapped a V trigger button because I didn't want to have to. I wanted a dedicated V trigger button. Now I'm going to have a dedicated V shift button.
You don't need a dedicated V trigger button as much. I mean, hard punch, hard kick is a lot less. Yeah, but yeah,
it's easy enough. But I wanted to. I mean,
I can press hard punch and medium kick. I'm not, but like, it's just weird. Like, why wouldn't it be like V skill plus light punch? Like, why wouldn't it be like the red focus input or something? You know, like something.
What's red focus input?
Focus plus light punch.
I've never done it on purpose. Okay.
Focus plus light punch. I've never done it. Anyway, okay, a new defensive option that uses 1 bar of V-Gauge. By pressing heavy punch and medium kick simultaneously, the character performs a backdash with the character's entire body radiating with blue energy. After activation, the character is invincible to almost any attack, including throws and projectiles. Like a what?
V-Trigger, or not V-Trigger, fuck me. The Ultra Instinct from Dragon Ball Super.
I guess.
Go ahead, keep talking.
When a character performs V-Shift as the opponent attacks, a brief slowdown occurs until the end of the animation of the backdash, thus ending the character's invincibility state. The slowdown does not occur against a throw, which is random and I don't understand. And then it has a follow-up called V-Shift Break, which is a counterattack. So during the slowdown effect, from avoiding, you can press heavy punch and medium kick again, weirdest input ever, and the character retaliates with a strike that knocks the opponent back and inflicts provisional damage. What the fuck is provisional damage? Is that gray health?
Gray health.
Gray health? Yep. Okay, that's what I figured. Not only does V-Shift Break have decent range, but it allows the player to break through opponent's chains of attack. So, alright, I hate everything about this.
No, you already hated everything about this.
Yep, I hate everything about it. So, the dumbest thing about it, besides just the fact that you're making invincible backdashes, but that require meter because Street Fighter V, like, God forbid backdashes be inherently good. We have to like make it a weird fucking mechanic where we like hit a button and it costs meter. And then
I'd like to point out that's not an anime thing. Just
no, it's clearly a Street Fighter V thing. I mean, obviously,
yeah. Okay.
but like so this fucking re-attack thing is really stupid to me for many reasons. So like it's just okay. Let me back up really quick and say that I think the idea of what they're trying to do, like the general concept, is to get some sort of defensive counterattack option put into the game. And conceptually, I want to say I agree with that, and I am glad that they are doing that. My issue, though, is with the execution of this. It's because the game is well, I mean, we know it's shit, but it's so shit because it's so like rush down and everything. It's like way too like you have your defensive options are just like not there. Every match is like Crom versus Crom. It's fucking stupid. It's so awful. But like this idea is good, but like this is kind of that interesting thing where you can have like bad ideas that are executed well or good ideas that are executed poorly. And like, I don't understand why they have an attack built into it. It's really stupid. Of course, because it's Street Fighter V, they're like, let's add an offensive element to this defensive mechanic because we're Street Fighter V. But I think the biggest thing that I hate is just the way that it changes very like core tenets of Street Fighter gameplay. And this goes back into, which is why I brought it up at the beginning of this, the whole thing of like, you know, your IP and how the game is supposed to play. And there's this thing in Street Fighter. There's this thing in Street Fighter where like you do a move and you special cancel it. And it's like a block string. Like say you're Guile and you do like crouch medium punch into Sonic Boom. Now some characters have specials that are too slow, but you usually know that for the character. Like you know if you can get through like crouch medium kick into Fireball from a Ryu if you use your invincible DP. This is all well and good, right? But like at the end of the day, you've got to either react really quickly or like risk it on an invincible move because you can't really react to them throwing the fireball most of the time. You're kind of guessing after the crouch medium kick that they're going to do it. Or you have characters like Guile where it's like basically a true block string and you do crouch medium punch into Sonic Boom and it gives you like a nice little block string pressure where you can apply more things. So this stupid fucking mechanic obliterates that and I hate it.
How does it obliterate that?
Because you can... So when you do a buffered normal, if I'm Guile and I think you're gonna walk into me, I do crouch medium punch into Sonic Boom. Okay. If that whiffs, then I don't Sonic Boom, right? Like I'm whiff buffering special attacks so that when my normal attack connects, the special comes out. And if my normal attack whiffs, it doesn't. If you V-shift, the special still comes out and then they punish your special attack. So it completely kills like a very core thing of Street Fighter where like you whiff buffer specials into your normals. And the whole point of like footsies is like you walk in or out of the normal range to get them to do, the special or not. Or punish their normal. But now you like V-shift on the medium punch and the Sonic Boom just comes out and they punish your Sonic Boom. You didn't really want it to come out.
Do you know that it will necessarily cancel like that? Like when you hit the V-shift, it causes that slowdown. Do you not have time then to not have pressed the button?
No, because you've already done it. It's dumb. It's dumb as fuck. I have seen other people bitch about this. It was one of the first things that came out. I mean, I'm not just like making this up. If you watch, like, there's a couple instances of like Guile or Ryu, and they do a thing, and so I hate that. I hate that because like
who's playing this? Who's out there doing this thing right now?
I'll go find you the evidence. But
no. It's not that I don't believe it exists.
I think it's just in the trailer. I think. Let me go find the trailer. What is this patch called?
Fuck me, I don't know.
Season 5
Championship Edition
trailer or something like that. It was Championship before. Official summer update trailer. Yeah, so let's go to wherever the fuck this stupid ass mechanic is. Well, this is from August. I don't want this. This is Kenny Omega. Where the fuck? It's 11. I'm just gonna type in Street Fighter 5 trailer, and then sort by this month. 11.
See now
I can't find it. What the fuck?
It was a dream you had.
Is it called Champion Edition? I thought it wasn't.
I thought it was Championship Edition.
I thought that was like the whole thing. I thought it was already Championship Edition. Yeah, Championship Edition Winter Update is what it's called.
There you go.
It was already Champion Edition. Now. All right, where is this stupid fucking mechanic? Here it is.
It's like an hour long. The video's like an hour long.
No, it's 25 minutes. I'm sorry.
Oh, well.
So,
excuse me, I was being hyperbolic.
W-Shi, and he's talking about it, and he's going to explain it. Okay, so we're gonna play this. So, okay, so yeah. So he does... Yes, he does it like immediately, it looks like. Let me make sure I'm not lying. But it looks like we have Rashid doing a move into it. Because you can the reason that it breaks this is because you can do it on the whiff. Do you know what I mean? You can do it on like the whiff of the normal, but it counts as like a hit. Yeah, this happens exactly.
Because
so go to 1915.
Do you have a link? You can send me?
Oh yeah, I'll send it to you here.
Yeah.
So
1915, you said.
Yeah, so you can see he does it a couple times, but you can see I should have just done here copy URL at current time probably. He does it's right after that. Yeah, he gets up and he does like a crouch kick and he special cancels it into the spinning thing. So basically
I see.
Yeah, he V shifts the normal, right? But because he did a special cancel and the V-shift comes out of the normal, he just gets to fucking punish his special. I hate that. I hate that so much. That to me is like a fucking combo break or something. It's like a thing that should be guaranteed pressure, right? And you're just saying no because you have some meter. I hate mechanics in fighting games that are like, here are the rules, and then there's this weird mechanic that just breaks all of those rules instantaneously. And, like, you don't get to do, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like if it was something more similar, like, if I'm thinking about, like, previous games and what they had, obviously I have a soft spot for, like, F80C backdash or whatever. But, like, even with F80C backdash, I feel like you were risking, you had to connect with a Shoryuken, right? So like if
otherwise you whiffed and got whiffed.
Yeah, otherwise you whiff and you can't F80C backdash. So like I can bait you, even if I think you're doing an F80C backdash, I can bait you into that. But with this mechanic, you just fucking hit the button, like you're hitting the button right when their attack's out. So like it's just automatically, I don't know, something about that design decision, it just makes me hate everything about it. The way it will change the gameplay is a lot different. So I guess what I'm getting to, if I can fucking finally finish my thought process here, is I do understand how this is similar to other games and other mechanics and how some people might expect me to like this because it technically makes the game more defensive, but it does it in like the dumbest, most fucking stupid, awful way that also ruins like the normal flow of the gameplay. And I don't know why I'm surprised because of Street Fighter V. So I don't know how else they could have possibly done it. Like, anyway.
Now when we talked about this when we were messaging in your Discord channel, none of this was anything that you had mentioned. This is not something that I'd considered until just now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, you didn't talk about that at all. You're just like, I hate it. Why are backdashes expensive?
Well, I probably didn't want to look into it more, but I mean, I also do hate that backdashes are expensive as well. Yes.
Yeah.
I also hate that. Sorry, I didn't submit my evidence to the...
Yeah, no, it's... You got to submit your evidence beforehand. This is... what is this called?
A new discovery?
Yeah, new discovery. This is illegal, what you have done. A fucking Phoenix Wright attorney out here. So, back when we were talking about it before this was a thing that I had considered, I do like the idea of V-Shift, because the base idea is that it is adding a more accessible avenue for people to be able to whiff punish, and it, because of the slowdown, it makes footsies a little bit more evident, I think, to people who aren't playing the game, to people who don't understand it. There's a core concept. Do what?
I'm just disgusted at the words you're saying.
Okay.
Please continue.
Sure. There's a core concept in fighting games called footsies. Right? The idea is that if you're both Ryu and you both want to hit the other guy with the crouch medium kick, when you do your crouch medium kick, you are extending your leg out and thus putting an attacking hitbox out there. But also, when your leg is out there, you have to pull it back in after it's an attacking hitbox and someone can kick you. That's footsies. It's negotiating space and the length of your normals to try and hit the other guy. V-Shift would add a bit of slowdown, so if you predicted that they were going to try and kick you in the shin, you could do your V-Shift and then punish them for having tried to kick you in the shin during the slowdown that V-Shift gives you.
Slowdowns are awful.
I think,
die slowdowns.
Sure,
die forever.
Fine, that's fine. You can dislike it, but I do think that it would go a long way to making the concepts of footsies more accessible to people, because that slowdown factor that gives you more time to react.
I feel so opposite, because I feel like that slowdown factor just pulls people out of the flow of the gameplay, and I think it makes games harder to watch. That's one of the things I hate most about like the fucking Marvel series and shit. The game is slowing down every 2 goddamn seconds. It's just like super screen freeze, super screen freeze, screen freeze, screen freeze, screen freeze. There's just constantly screen freezes and slowdowns. I hate it. It's too much. Like, give me like one tasteful slowdown on an Ultra. No, man, it just... Can you imagine if every time you played Smash, if every time I did like a fucking down throw into Nair as Ganondorf, the game like fucking slowed down to make sure everybody
and your portrait showed up?
Yeah,
I can imagine that.
It's actually so awful. Like
that doesn't bother me.
Oh, it's the worst thing in the world, dude. I feel like every time the game like freezes like that in those games, it happens in so many anime fighters, like fucking, Guilty Gear. They do some weird power up mode, and then like they go into a mix up, and it's like a screen freeze into a... Or like Melty Blood, screen freeze into a super, into a screen freeze into a super. I literally just like stop watching. And I know you think I'm like saying this to like meme probably or something, but like I'm not kidding. Like it just immediately I just go, oh, I wonder what's on my phone. I just don't want to watch it. It's awful.
If I can give you a compliment, you have really fast thoughts. If you're sneaking a whole, man, I wonder what's on my phone inside of a Melty Blood screen freeze.
That's not a fast thought at all. Man. That's not a fast thought at all. Do you have to say the thought as a sentence in your head, or does it just occur?
Do you not sub-vocalize?
I do, but I don't do it 24/7. If I have the thought to look at something on my phone, I don't have to think it as a sentence. I often do, but... No, man, I cannot think of anything less interesting than a game with a bunch of fucking screen freezes in it. So that's just like one more thing.
I'm sure you could.
And I don't.
I'm sure you could.
Okay, you're probably right.
If you think like a really slow moving game, that would probably be more boring than like screen freezes.
It's just it's fucking too much. It's overload. I hate adding a million screen freezes into my Street Fighter. I'm not interested in it. And everything you're saying about making it more. I literally just I feel every single thing you just said. I feel like the exact opposite, basically. Like
okay,
the screen freeze makes it less accessible. The screen freeze makes it more confusing because you don't know why the screen is freezing.
Happening.
No, you don't know why this. No, you don't. They just go, oh, the screen. Why is the screen freezing? I have no idea why the screen is freezing.
Because of Matrix
mode.
You
don't know, and then you forget everything else that was just happening because there's this big dumb stupid screen freeze, and then it like goes back and they do an attack, and you're like, oh, that was weird. I wonder why he wouldn't just do that all the time. And like, I don't think. Man, I think it just pulls you out of the game. I think it pulls you out. I think it makes you less involved in what's occurring, both as a viewer and as a player. I think it disrupts the whole conversation. I don't know, man. I don't like it.
Okay, so let me look. The first Matrix movie came out in 1999. So let's see.
Where the fuck are you going with this?
So as long as someone is like at least 22 years old, then they've been alive when the Matrix has been out. So there's a fair chance that they are familiar with the concept of bullet time. So I don't know that they'll just be confused and like have a mental breakdown looking at the screen because it stopped.
No, you're misunderstanding. I'm not saying like they don't know that the screen is fucking freezing and they're going into slow-mo. Obviously they know that, but it doesn't. I think it's like if you're reading a book, okay, and you're really into this book, and then there's like a page of the book that it's like all black and it has just the word like poop tard printed on it. And then you spend all your time looking at this page. You're like, what? Why is there a page of this book that's black and it's reverse ink printed with the word poop tard? What does it mean? And then the next page, it's talking about the same thing you're watching before, but now you're so distracted because you're like, what the fuck was that about? That was so weird. That's how I feel about this. I feel like it completely shifts my ability to focus and maintain like my attention span on what's occurring. Now I'm just like, oh, there was a screen freeze. That was weird. Why did that happen? Blah, 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 blah. Like, it's not that I don't understand the concept of the screen being slow, but it's like, I feel that way about like fucking, it's in every game, man. Like I said, all the Marvel series ones, any game that has like a multi-super system, like even Street Fighter 3, where you like do a move into a super, you get like fucking 3 screen freezes in a combo. I don't want that shit. I don't want it.
So in Skullgirls, like when the game first came out, there was an issue where you could cancel into you could buffer supers during screen freeze. So you withstand hard punch as Cerebella, and I react to you whiffing it and do my invincible reversal super as Cerebella.
Sure.
That would be a punish under normal circumstances, right? But since the screen froze, you had time to buffer in your invincible reversal super, and then you would always come out on top. They fixed that. That is the only time I have ever heard someone complain about screen freeze before in the history of my life.
What?
You've never mentioned this before. It didn't occur to me that was a thing that could bother people with screen freezes.
I feel like it's impossible that I've never had this rant with you.
As often as I advocate for anime, I agree. It does seem rather improbable, doesn't it?
I cannot fathom the fact that this never came up. Maybe there were just other things that were higher on my list of bitching about. But anyway, make Street Fighter not screen freezy again. Build the wall to keep the screen freezes out. Fucking yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
Make the screen freezers
kind of excited.
pay for the wall.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
With their V trigger gauge.
With their.
Which I think would be another sort of tip off to the casual viewer why they don't always just do Matrix mode. But
if you think casual viewers understand meters, you are a fucking crazy person.
If you think a casual, I'm Dunning-Krugering hard.
Yes, 100%. If you think the average normal person has any idea what those meters are, I have taught new people how to play Street Fighter 4 many times, and you would not. I think you wouldn't believe, since you apparently don't. You would not believe how hard it is to get them to even differentiate between the super and the ultra bar. A lot of times they don't even see the ultra bar. I'm like, do you see the thing? It's on fire. And they're just like, what? What's on fire? Because it lights on fire when you get ultra. They don't understand.
No,
they don't understand. They don't look. I do not. You are so fucking far down. I was talking to A2 about this, not you specifically, but like anime fighting game players in general. Anime fighting game players are like, they're like the dude who can only get off to like grandma giraffe cucumber porn that's filmed upside down in a certain aspect ratio with Muppets. It's like they're so fucking far down this fucking rabbit hole, they have no ability to comprehend like what a normal person like. And I feel like that's where once you get down, again, I'm not, if you wanna watch some grandma's fucking giraffes with Muppets or whatever, like fucking, Be my guest. I mean, I go to 4chan all the time. That's a staple of this podcast at this point. Be my guest. But you need to understand that you watch grandma giraffe Muppet porn. You need to understand that you are, and that is so far beyond that the normal person does not and cannot relate to that. Like, this is how far down the rabbit hole you are, Alex. This is like, I know you don't want to believe it.
No.
This is why I know I'm right. Because
I can't comprehend your arguments.
like you're just like, how could someone not see an Ultra bar? They don't look at that shit, dude. They don't fucking look at it at all.
Okay.
They barely look at health bars.
I have a reasonably high opinion of myself, but like, I don't think I'm that much smarter than everyone else in the world that I can, perceive things that they can't. I think anyone who looks at a screen...
It's not about being that much smarter. It's about being more exposed to something. You're less visually overloaded. So a normal person does not even know to be looking for a combo counter, does not even know to be looking for a resource bar, does not even know. So they're just going to look at the screen, and it's not going to get into their mental stack. But you already have like a pre-existing concept of what a fighting game user interface should look like, and you know what you should be looking for. I'm not saying they're like literally blind, but it's just like, it's like if you look at a crowded picture and you ask someone to find like a particular person in it, right? If they don't know, okay, sure. I can't believe I literally was not making a Waldo.
Well, you're doing a Waldo.
But also I was. So yes, while making a Waldo, I was constructing what is Where's Waldo in my head, and I was gonna say like a person with like say they had a purple shirt and nobody else had a purple shirt. Like, that's where I was about to go before you interrupted me. I cannot believe my brain did.
Forgot what Waldo was.
It just didn't occur to me, but maybe that's the best thing ever, though, for this exact point. Like, it's not that it's impossible to think of the idea of Waldo, but it's like your brain just isn't there, and so it effectively doesn't see it, right? So I think there are a lot of things with user interfaces that are this way, and a lot of times, like, that is something that happens, because even like, the Love Child Street Fighter 4 or whatever, like even with that, as good as like its resources and systems were, it was still hard to get people to understand like the meter thing early on. And so I feel like with 5, and especially with a mechanic like this, it's just like even goofier, where like there's so many different ways you can use your V trigger now, and by so many different ways I mean 3. And they're I don't know. It's like one bar for this, one bar for that. I feel like the V triggers are a mechanic, as much as I don't like V triggers, just because they're like everybody having an install is just not something I like. I feel like that's the kind of mechanic that does warrant like a screen freeze, right? Yeah. Like I don't think never screen freeze, but I think you need to be really, really careful with how much you do it. And I think it's a really fine line between like suddenly being way too much, in my opinion. Anyway,
but to be clear, you do think that Marvel has too many screen freezes.
Too many screen freezes.
That shit is wild, man.
It's obnoxious. It's very high on my list of reasons.
It's a thing you can perceive.
It's a thing I can perceive.
Yeah, I'm saying that's a thing you've ever thought about before.
Every time I watch it, I think that.
What is that like?
It's awful. The game is awful. It's like, can you imagine if you were trying to play Street Fighter and you were like, I just want to watch this game, but then the game kept fucking freezing on you every 5 fucking seconds because people have 5 supers and they can combo into 5 of them at a time, and then they gain meter back in the middle of the combo to do more screen freezes, and before you know it, the entire game is just like a fucking 15-second long sequence of screen freezes, and then someone dies and you feel like nothing even occurred because the whole fucking game was frozen. It's awful. That's awful.
Actually that's the coolest part of Marvel.
It's awful. What's wrong with you, Alex?
Suppose for a second you're Ryu in Marvel and you do a DP. And I react to you doing a DP. I'm in the air. I don't want to get hit, so I do like a reversal super in the air. And then you see that I've done a reversal super, so you buffer Shinku Hadoken into the screen freeze. And then I react to you having done the Shinku Hadoken, and then I do an install super so that I'm not there anymore. And then you DHC into Doctor Strange, do Spell of Vishanti. That's awesome.
No,
that's like 16 tactical decisions that we made.
Yeah, I heard everything you said, and then watching it, it's just like, This is the sound of the build-up and then the screen freeze, and it just does that 7 times in a row. I literally just want to walk away. I hate it.
That's wild, man. That would explain why you don't like Marvel. You've got a weird inverse relationship between cool things and interest.
No, why is freezing the screen cool? It'd be like, okay, dude, it's like overdoing a joke. Have you seen the episode of SpongeBob where he rips his pants? That's how I feel about screen freezes in fucking anime fighting games and in team fighting games. They're literally just like, cause I ripped my pants, and then like the fucking fifth time you do it, you're just like, bro, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. That's how I feel about screen freezes in fighting games. I ripped my pants again, guys.
It's so fast.
Cool? It was so cool the first time I ripped my pants. I'm gonna do it again 47 times. Screen freeze. Awful.
It happens so fast.
No, it's awful.
You barely have time to make a tactical decision. That's why it's so cool when you make a neat choice during the screen freeze. Do you know how many wars in Marvel I've won in screen freeze wars?
Well, probably a lot of them because the screen is constantly freezing the whole time, so it would not be possible for you to play the game without having that come up because the screen is constantly fucking freezing. So probably every time you play Marvel, that happens.
The amount of time that it takes Ryu to go from doing something to declaring that he is going to do a super, and the super coming out, the screen freeze, is as long as it takes for him to say Shinku.
Sure.
That fast, that amount of time, Shinku.
Yeah, but just it's still awkward. It's like 1 second. Yeah, it's weird because it freezes the screen. It's awkward.
When the screen freezes, do you have just like an out-of-body experience?
Okay, so I want to be clear. Like, again, it's not every single screen freeze, right? Like screen freezes are in every game pretty much that has ever had like super attacks or whatever. It doesn't bother me to ever have them, but as soon as you get more than like 1 or 2 ways that it occurs, I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done. I'm done with the game. I don't want to play it.
That seems a low threshold to me.
Not really. I mean, there's just too many. Fucking dude, look at fucking Killer Instinct. It's the fucking most obnoxious shit ever.
I can't look at Killer Instinct.
Well, yeah, but every time something happens, it's like, I'm doing a combo. Oh no, I did a counter break combo breaker. So the screen freezes, and then it's like combo break. And then before he can even finish saying combo break, the other guy's like, I did a counter combo break counter. And now I froze the screen freeze of your screen freeze into my own screen freeze. And then the other guy's like, but what if I countered your counter, and I freeze the screen? And then like, it's like fucking 4 iterations in a row of like one person freezing the screen, one person freezing the screen, one person freezing the screen, and then the other guy goes into super after that, and the whole fucking game. That sounds
like a shit.
No, it's awful. That
sounds awesome. That's so much interplay.
I think it ultra pisses me off even more because I know people like you think that it's hype, and it makes me even angrier. It's like whenever somebody listens to like a really bad song, like you're in a car and they're listening to some shitty, awful song, and it's making them all happy.
Like what?
I'm mad because
what song?
I don't know.
Name a song. Call somebody out.
Some awful
Rebecca Black.
Some Friday. Awful pop. No, that's a great song because it is so awful.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
it's art.
but like, yeah, somebody's listening to some awful shit, some fucking awful 2000s pop shit, and they're so happy about it. And like, I would be mad anyway, right? I would be mad if the song played because it's awful, and I would be mad that I'd have to listen to it. But I'm like 3 times compounded like as mad because the people around me are enjoying themselves to something that they shouldn't be allowed to enjoy because it's so inherently awful. That's how I feel about this shit.
So I just Googled 2000s pop, and I need you to tell me what song you're going to be angry at somebody to listen to. Bye Bye Bye.
Yeah.
From NSYNC.
Okay.
Would you be mad at somebody for listening? You hear "Ain't No Lie," "Bye Bye Bye," and the NSYNC goes in. JT's rocking it. You're gonna be mad at somebody enjoying themselves.
That's not as bad. That's not as bad. I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't think of currently any examples. I know these songs when I hear them, and they
Single Ladies.
Me. Yes,
my mom
literally any Beyonce song that anyone enjoys, I want to fucking tear your eyes out of your body and shove them up your ass. I cannot fucking fathom any human being liking Beyonce or anything about her. Yes, absolutely, Beyonce. Okay. Fucking Single Ladies, fucking Stupid. If you like it, put a ring. Like, I literally want to
That's
fucking.
The same song.
Is it? I don't even know. I just hear it's so everything about I hate Beyonce so much. Her stupid fucking chicken dance. People are like, oh, she's such a fucking
That's
example.
again the same.
She's
That's still the single lady song.
She's an example for women. She's championing women, and then meanwhile she writes songs that are like, "Bitch, I woke up like this. I'm so much hotter than you," or something. And people are like, "No, it's about moms going to the club." I don't give a fuck. Her music is awful. I hate everything. Oh my god. Now I will say I do like some Destiny's Child, but there were other people in Destiny's Child who weren't Beyonce, and that it was good. But Beyonce is fucking intolerable. Yes, if someone enjoys a Beyonce song, I literally fantasize about their head exploding in slow motion. I hate it. I hate it.
Now, when you
much.
when you hear them listening to a Beyonce song, you mean specifically the only Beyonce song you know, right?
No, I know lots of other Beyonce songs.
Name 2 other Beyonce songs.
God damn it, I know them. So she's got, what is she? Okay, I did the Single Ladies one, and I did the I Woke Up Like This one. That's a different song, right? That's a different one. Fuck, I can't think of them, but I will know them. I do know them. Okay, I'm gonna look up singles, and I will be honest until you find out.
Who runs the world, though?
Women or whatever. Yeah, I know.
Girls run the world.
Stupid. Yeah. Hang on. Beyonce singles. I definitely know these. They're just not coming to mind. What is this shit? These are all in fucking Spanish? I don't know any of that shit. God. Fuck. Okay, look. I'm gonna level with you, Alex. I have an ex that really liked Beyonce, and I don't remember any of the names of any of the songs, but I guarantee you, I know more than 2 songs because I had to fucking listen to that shit all the goddamn
I'm so
time.
sorry.
Okay, singles. Work It Out, Crazy in Love. I don't know any of these so far. I know Naughty Girl. That's bad.
Crazy in Love's pretty good.
I know. Okay, so here's Single Ladies. We're going into the more
modern
era. You already said Run the World, which I know.
Sure.
Pretty Hurts? I don't know that one. Okay, I will admit I know a lot less of these than I thought that I did. She does have a whole new world.
There's a whole new world of Beyonce out there that you could discover.
I probably know like 5 of these songs going through this list.
And that's what I'm saying. Maybe you just haven't seen the right screen freeze yet.
Get out of here. I've listened to entire Beyonce albums. I've been fucking strapped down like fucking Clockwork Orange with my ears forced open. Listening,
they held your ears open
to
with
Beyonce and Hamilton on long extended car rides. And I believe me, I know. Oh yeah, Hamilton's another one. I fucking hate Hamilton. I don't understand how people like that shit. It's awful.
I need to know that you're not against Wicked.
Wicked has 1 or 2
Defying
really
Gravity.
good ones. Yeah. I know a couple of those. Yeah.
I get hype. I cry every time.
Yeah, cry like if you cry every time. Yeah, no, Wicked has some pretty cool stuff in it for sure. I don't hate everything from Wicked the way I do the other stuff.
The way you don't hate Wicked, the way you hate Hamilton, Beyonce, and Screen Freeze and Marvel 3.
Yes.
Okay. So it's an eclectic list of tastes you got there, Will.
Thank you. I am the arbiter of all things taste, and I will decide what is and isn't acceptable.
I was trying to think of how long the screen freeze is in Melty Blood, and I'm pretty sure that they don't have enough time to even get words out.
I mean, it feels like an eternity because it interrupts the flow. It's not really about how long it is. It's just like, how many times it happens. Because, I mean, most screen freezes are not longer than 1 second. I mean, that's definitely...
Sure, that's maybe less than 1 second.
Yeah, they're usually 1 second or less. I mean, I guess you could say I think maybe some of the Ultra screen freezes in Ultra are a little longer than 1 second, depending on the move. But, like, yeah, it's not really...
But you're probably only getting, like, 1 or 2 Ultras in a round.
If that, yeah. Depending on the character, some can get 2 per round, but most are not.
Most likely, between you and your opponent, you will only have 2 tops. Oh, maybe 3.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, and then like you really never use supers hardly in 4. So like so like you're not typically getting. So like it's like the amount of times it happens is what bothers me.
Okay, so you've led a charmed life.
I've led a charmed
life. Does it bother
life.
you? Yeah, you've never had to interact with screen freezes before. This isn't your world.
I mean, I have to enter. They're in Street Fighter 2. I mean, when you do a super.
Yeah. Are they a thing in Grand Blue that bother you, or is it because you only get super maybe once-ish around?
So yeah, I think you understand my point now. So yes, they're in Grand Blue, but they very rarely happen. They happen when you do your super the one time. That's pretty much it. The only exception in Grand Blue is the clashes, which I don't like and wish weren't in the game. And,
I forgot that.
Yeah, and they also cause the screen freeze, and I do not like that. It doesn't bother me because they don't happen often enough. But like, if I could pick, I would remove both clashes from the game and remove clash screen freezes.
So you have a strong respect for the standard flow of time. That's what this comes down to. If someone wants to like go forwards at a wrong rate, or like take a breather for a second, or like God forbid go backwards just a little bit, that would be too much.
It's not about. I mean, fuck, if you want to have a time travel character, be my guest. But like, it's.
You say that, but there's
pacing.
fixing to be a time travel character in Skullgirls.
It's pacing. I feel like I've made that clear. It is the pacing and the fact that it disrupts the pacing. I dislike that greatly. Yes. I think you can earn like, once or twice around, you can earn that if it's like a really cool thing. Your big ultra attack, I think that's totally fine. But but as soon as you change the game to be like, I can do my big ultra attack 8 times a game, you could change nothing about the way the screen is frozen. You could change, you know what I mean? Like everything else could be the same. And it's just the fact that you do ultra 8 times a game instead of 1. It's shit. I immediately hate everything about it.
Okay. You know, this is not a perspective that I had ever considered. So
I still cannot believe that this is the first time you and I have had this conversation. This is baffling.
20 minutes ago or whatever, I would not have been able to understand your position at all. Now that we've sussed this out, now that we've had our talk about Beyonce and Marvel and how the two relate, I can understand your position. I think you're wrong, but at least I understand now where you're coming from, and I think that we can both appreciate that we've grown a little bit today.
Thank you, Professor Alex.
Now that I understand that you just have this weird fascination with time on your stopwatch being the same as the time that you see on the screen, totally makes sense that you don't like
Marvel, bro.
Marvel's time goes slow.
The flow.
Yeah, and then there's the hit stop that actually stops the timer. There's no wonder you aren't having a good time. I was being all kinds of disrespectful to you. I'm so sorry.
I generally do hate big, giant hit stop shit as well. I think it depends on the move. It's kind of a similar deal though, where like if the certain moves have like, okay, think about like
Ganon Dare should have hit stop.
Yeah. Actually, a great example. That's pretty cool. But if like every move was like Ganon Dare, I would fucking hate the shit out of that fucking game. Yeah, it would be awful.
That's not really so much an issue in Marvel 3, though. The way that they manage X Factor has a certain timer. You get extra strength during it, but your extra strength trails down over a period of time. If you play a character that has a lot of hit stop in their combos, rather than a character who does like a bunch of projectiles that just sort of spend a lot of time hanging in the air, you will get more X Factor time in real life.
What?
So that's Virgil's moves. When he's doing his X Factor kill combos, it's a bunch of slapping you in the face with his sword.
Okay.
If you do, let me think who has Dante's Jam Session X Factor Infinite does not have a lot of hit stop on it. So if they both do their X Factor kill combos, even if the damage was the same, Virgil will have more X Factor time left over because the timer stops every time he slaps you.
Oh,
and the timer does not stop during Dante's. Yeah, that's part of the reason why Virgil is so good. It's sort of an optimization thing. So if you're looking through and trying to optimize a Dante combo, you will not do any jam sessions in X Factor. Yeah. That's why I don't optimize Dante combos.
Don't do it. It's not worth it. Goofy. Well, anyway, we were talking about V-Shift at some point, and I think we eventually drifted away. But okay, it sounds like my illegal new evidence though has maybe swayed you.
I mean, you watched the video, right? That.
He does the hit into the thing, and he's just like, "Oh, cool," and he just punches him. It's fucking stupid.
That's my bread and butter in Street Fighter 4. That's the reason why I'm good at Street Fighter 4 is jab hands, right? So I press the button so fast that if I whiff then the jab comes out and nothing else happens.
Right.
And if I hit, or if you hypothetically V-shifted and it counted or registered as a hit, and then it would cancel into the 100 hand slap.
See, and that's,
if you could hypothetically,
it's stupid because it counts as a hit even if you don't hit them, right? So like they V-shift the air around you or something basically, and that counts as connecting. I don't understand. It's very strange.
It's kind of like you're getting hit, but you aren't hit for the canceling.
Yeah, it's stupid.
So that thing where I can always have a hands input behind a jab, that would then be bad for me to do. I would have to just press jab sometimes, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to think about that. That's hard. I don't want to make choices.
Well, and so again, though, I've had people try to defend it and be like, well, because it does add that extra layer, and it's like adding an extra layer is not an inherently good thing. It just isn't. There are sometimes extra layers that get added that are dumb or stupid and they shouldn't be there. Like sometimes a thing really should be simple on the surface, and sometimes not. Sometimes the extra layers are good, but like I don't agree with the idea that it's like inherently good to like just have just more ways to do things. Like sometimes certain things really do need to be set in stone because they're like a core mechanic that causes the game to play a certain way. And if you break that mechanic, it no longer plays the way the game played. And that is dumb. Especially, if it's an existing IP that you expect a thing like that to be. So like, I don't know. It just depends. And like, you have to take it instance by instance. I mean, there are things you could argue have been added to previous games that do certainly fit like the same general overall concept as something like a V-Shift does. But I don't think you can blanketedly say it's always bad or good to add a mechanic that always tries to do a certain thing. Like you really have to look at like how it's implemented, the specifics of like what it's doing, and I don't like any of it. That's to say nothing of the fact that, and we didn't even go over this, but like I also really think it's stupid to have V-Shift and V-Reversal in the same game. I don't understand like why they wouldn't have just buffed V-Reversal or something. And so like now it's like you've got the one that you do when you're on hit and the one that you do when it's on whiff or whatever.
So I think I've actually got a fix for all of our problems on that specifically. What's the input for V-Reversal? Forward and...
It's forward and I think it's...
Punches, kicks, V-trigger?
I think it's forward in all three punches for most characters, I want to say. But I don't...
Pretending for a second that is the case, that it's forward in all three punches, and you can only do it while you're in block stun, I would propose that a better input for V-Shift would be back and all three punches when you're not in block stun, so that you can't option select it, and so that you have to commit to it.
Well, if it was back, though...
Mm-hmm.
You're saying so you can't option select...
Yeah, I don't want to press back and do it and just always get one or the other.
Yes, that would be problematic. It's all three punch or all three kick buttons, depending on the character. I think some characters have one with kick and some have with punch.
It should be universal.
Yeah, it definitely should. I don't know. It just seems like a really weird thing to have both of those mechanics in there. I feel like I want there to be better defense in Street Fighter V, but I don't want it to be because of another stupid mechanic. They already have a stupid defensive mechanic in V-Reversal. And V-Reversal is honestly one of my...
V-Reversal's fine.
It's one of my favorite parts of Street Fighter V. Yeah. I don't think I'd want it in every Street Fighter game, but I do like what they tried to do. I mean, there are things, contrary to popular belief, that I do like about Street Fighter V. I think that it does well. I think for the most part, V-Reversals are done well, but it's very stupid to me that like instead of just buffing V-Reversals and then buffing like just buffing backdashes in general to make defense better, that instead of doing that, they fucking just add like a whole new mechanic that completely fucking upends everything. And like people are like, oh man, this is going to totally change the game. And they're actually right. It is. And that's one of the things I hate about it, because like Street Fighter V does need tweaking, but it doesn't need to be even more of a different not Street Fighter game. It's already a very not Street Fighter game, and now it's going to be like even more not that because of this stupid fucking mechanic. And so like,
is that not exciting to you then, or are you just like less excited because it's even less Street Fighter?
Is it not exciting to me?
Are you not? It almost seems to me that Bushige has no willingness to pretend that it's a Street Fighter game anymore. Obviously, it's not Street Fighter. Because now you don't have to pretend that it's Street Fighter.
Oh, I mean, we done been there.
You're right. I forgot that you pretend that Street Fighter 3 isn't Street Fighter.
We done been there.
My
already.
bad.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just it shouldn't surprise me that they're like doubling down on the dumbness of it. But somehow it does, and I think it's every. I mean, it does. Okay, it doesn't surprise me the way they did it. I guess what I'm getting at is I think every time they go to like try and redo or reimagine or rework things in Street Fighter 5, every time some little part of me is like, maybe this will be the one.
This is the one
where they like make it less stupid, and then every time it's like, nope. It's even more dumb. Like they added more screen freezes, you know, like if I was like, it'd be like if I was a Marvel player and I was like, maybe this will be the patch where they take out some of the screen freezing.
Take out screen freezes.
And then every time Marvel they release it, they're like, the screen freezes are twice as long, they occur twice as frequently, and there's twice as many ways you can do them. And I just be like, and it's the fucking Arrested Development, like I don't know what I expected, and the paper bag gif, like which is how I feel. I'm like, I don't know what I expected. Of course, this is the way they would do it.
Okay, so what if this is actually healthy for Street Fighter 5? What if this goes a long way to slow it down and forces people to play more defensively?
I think it might. This is my point previously. I think there are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, like this is the thing that it's doing the right thing in the wrong way.
You agree with their goals, though not their means.
Yeah. Their means are shite. They're so bad. and I think that's what is so frustrating though, because like to me it would be so easy to slow the game down and make it more neutral focused. Like just fucking make hitboxes better on anti-airs. Make fucking firewalls have a little bit less shitty recovery. Make normals last a little longer. Like you could do so much with that without needing to add, but like instead they're just like, we're gonna put this dumbass fucking band-aid in the game for this weird ass mechanic. Like I just don't. I think that's so awful. I like the game is supposed to be. The game is supposed to work. You're supposed to have footsies and fucking neutral and zoning and fucking all this shit. You're supposed to just have that as part of your character. But instead of making the characters feel good and the characters feel like they've felt in other games, they just add this stupid fucking mechanic in, and then they don't change anything else. And like, yeah, effectively that probably will make people think twice about their offense. But then it's just like fucking even farther away from what, like, I don't want to have to think about my offense because you have this stupid fucking, it's like a combo break to me. It's not quite, I mean, it's not as bad.
Because
as
it's not breaking a combo.
Yeah, but like, it's the same idea though, where it's like, it's like a, it takes like the conversation of like the neutral out. The conversation is as stupid as it ever was. It's just that you have like every 3 times we have an argument, you get to like yell really loudly, but it's not like you.
And you can't say anything.
Yeah. It's just fucking. I don't know, man. Like I don't. So yeah, I do agree with what they're trying to do, right? Like I agree with what their intent was in terms of not their intent on the mechanic itself, but like if we're looking at the game overall, I mean, yeah, the game has fucking needed some shit to slow down the fucking insanity of it.
Defensive options. It does need defensive options. It's needed
defensive options for forever, but it's just like, why would you not? Yeah, if it were me, I would have put invulnerability on backdashes or something inherently. DPs. I would, for sure on DP. I mean, DP, obviously on every DP. Fuck that. I mean, we already know that. But like all of that, they could have done. This could have been that patch. They could have been like, hey man, you know, we do want to put more defense in the game, but because fucking Woshige is a fucking asshole douche canoe who fucking just like delights in doing dumb shit and making the game
hurting you personally
less and less like what it probably
in offending your delicate sensibilities.
Yeah, like he's just like, oh, I'll put in a fucking stupid ass mechanic that fucking prevents you from playing the game normally. So like not only does it like double down on the stupidity of Street Fighter 5 by having like another dumb V mechanic and whatever the fuck, it also pushes it like in adding this defensive thing. It's like it gives you, it's like what do you call it? It's like the devil's bargain. Where you're like, I don't ever want to hurt again, and then the devil like turns you into a potato because potatoes can't feel anything.
Can't feel. Yeah, that's
and, like that's
famous,
like you're like I want
famous novel.
So then you're like, I want Street Fighter 5 to be like more neutral and defensive-y, and then they're like, here's a stupid fucking mechanic that like prevents you from doing special cancels, and you're just like, what? Oh god. And they're like, what? Didn't you want this? And you're just like, ah, and then you scream and the camera pans out and that's the end of the movie, like Alfred Hitchcock or something. I don't know.
It's like monkey's paw. You made a monkey's paw wish. You said, I wish that Street Fighter was more defensive, and then they added in an offensive defensive mechanic to hurt you. Oh
my god, dude. Anyway.
I think I'm hopeful. I want to see where this game is going. I think they got, because
why
do you remember,
are you hopeful, Alex?
Aside from
it shouldn't be a thing.
Aside from his current work as a Street Fighter guru and balance design specialist, whatever, the other thing that Woshige is famous for, right?
Yeah, the Evo video.
Yeah, the Woshige no.
Yeah, what are you standing up for? Yep.
Yeah. That's why I'm hopeful.
Will,
what are you standing up for?
What? You're hopeful because he had a meme video? I don't understand.
No, because what are you standing up for, Will?
Street Fighter? I don't know. What?
I guess you must be.
On this.
I'm sorry.
You've completely lost me. I'm sorry.
What I'm saying is I am hopeful because I don't think this is harder to explain than I thought it was going to be. No, just I want to hear you scream Woshige no. Let me change tactics entirely. You want me to scream that? I want you to scream Woshige no. Yeah, that's what I want. That's why I'm hopeful.
No,
yeah, that's what I have hope for.
All right.
I want to see people really excited, enjoying Street Fighter, and I want to hear you screaming Woshige no. That's what I want.
They're not gonna
be happy. Do you think that this will make the core Street Fighter 5 base excited?
Some people are excited for it, from what I've seen. Some people really aren't. It seems really divisive, which is not surprising considering what kind of change it is. If I'm a betting man, I think what will happen is that it will further alienate, obviously, people like me who are already alienated, and I think it will actually also alienate a good chunk of people who actually like Street Fighter 5 because it is changing the that core relationship game in a way that they're not going to like or be comfortable with. So I think it's going to there are going to be a few people who like it, but I would bet that it's going to even further alienate the people who are already alienated, and it's actually going to probably alienate a decent chunk of the people who might have had some positive feelings for the game, because you can't rush down the same way as you could, and the way you defend against it using that mechanic is super unintuitive, super weird, and you can only do it like however many times when you get the meter, and it's just going to be You think it's unintuitive for people who can look at multiple meter bars and comprehend like two different colors of super at a time? I don't think someone. No, I mean, I'm not saying it's. Okay. Well, I mean, I do think it's. I mean, I think unintuitive doesn't mean incapable of being understood. It just means it isn't. It's not naturally a conclusion you would come to, and I think a lot of people are going to naturally be concluding that they can do the pressure in whatever way they could, and now somebody does this V shift, and they're like, "Wait, what? I don't like this."
I see. Yeah. You're saying that it's unintuitive for the person applying the pressure. I thought that you were saying it's unintuitive for the V shift user, which totally makes sense to me because you do the bullet time and then you hit them.
No, that for the user, it's not. Yeah, okay. but like it's so I don't know. We'll see. I
know you're hopeless. What's the word?
Yeah, I think that's the word.
Yeah. It's okay. There's always Grand Blue. You can always play Grand Blue.
I did play some Grand Blue for the first time in a while the other day. Grand Blue's still a pretty fun game.
I haven't played it since Beelzebub came out. I haven't played it since Belial.
So yeah. I quit playing for a while because Belial was one of the most offensive characters ever, because they literally just gave Belial everything that they took away from everyone else like 5 seconds after. They like rebalanced the game. They took all this shit away and you're like, okay, cool, I see what they're doing. And then they're like, here's Belial. He has all the things. And like, so I basically didn't play for that entire patch. And somewhat recently they put in a new one and they're like, all right, look, Belial is like everyone else now. He's no longer the dumbest fucking thing ever. And I don't know. I played it the other day with Pharaoh and I was like, yeah, I still like this game. It's still a fun game. I wish COVID didn't ruin it, but Grand Blue is definitely the best real fighting game in my opinion.
Anymore?
Yeah.
The current living.
Yeah, that's current living, mostly not dead despite COVID. Yeah, definitely Grand Blue.
Well, Grand Blue and Skullgirls, because Skullgirls is alive.
Sure, Skullgirls. Love that game. The pain in Alex's soul. I don't know how he's still friends with me.
As long as this is mostly off topic, Melty Blood's based on a visual novel, right?
Yes, we know this.
Called
the meaty jams. We had that episode.
That's the one. Yeah. They were going to make Melty Blood HD, but the guy who writes the visual novel said, no, don't do a Melty Blood HD. Wait until after I release the HD version of the visual novel. He said this back in 2008, and you'll notice that it is the year of our Lord 2021. The visual novel, the HD version of the visual novel is due to come out now. It's supposed to come out in summer. So I'm kind of hopeful that we're going to get Melty Blood HD. Maybe that's on the horizon. Maybe I have something to look forward to, if not you.
I'll play that game with you for 5 minutes until I hate everything about it. But I'll
freeze. Yeah,
I'll play it with you for 5 minutes. If they released that, I would play it with you. Yeah, I don't know how much, but I would attempt to
play it. Yeah, at least the once.
Until
just like you're gonna play Persona 5, at least the once. There's that face. There's that pain I was making.
All right. Well, I think we've had a podcast here, unless you have any other things. Yeah, this has been it.
No, that's good. That's a good place.
All right. Well, thank you for listening, folks. I have been Metal Music Man.
I've been Professor Lex.
We will catch you guys next time.
Yeah.